Tekken has changed over the years, and so has its characters, more ways than one. Yet, the thing that always strikes me in Tekken was the character models. The CG renders, the cutscenes, especially when after Tekken 3 was captivating, the animation and realism to them. Most games have that realism now with modern graphics. We have hair follicles, skin pores, and wrinkles. Even scanning actual actors' faces into the games to create that realism. I'm gonna say something controversial. I believe this looks more realistic than this. Shocking, right? But hear me out. The character designer and CG model maker in the old games was a true artist. Technological limitations aside, it's very well sculpted. Honestly, look at it. Look at Jin Kazama in Tekken Tag Tournament render compared to her later renders in Tekken 8. There's realism there. Blush in her cheeks, redness in her eyes, and texture on the skin. Compare it to renders of Tekken Tag 2 and Tekken 8. Tekken 8 looks very doll-like. No blemishes, no wrinkles, especially compared to the male characters. Honestly, it's pathetic and very dull. Jin Kazama, for example in Tekken 3, is actually considered attractive. A handsome young man. His body, muscle, and fat ratio is very realistic and is considered healthy, while later games he looks like he's dehydrated and on steroids. It's a bit too over the top and comic book like. Jin Kazama to me had a mix of both Asian and Caucasian features, but also had a unique attributes. The crazy hair and the unique eyebrows stands out. It's no wonder Jin Kazama was on a list of sexiest male video game characters. The semi-realism of the old games is now replaced with a mixture of a more fantasy-like anime, comic book style aesthetic, capsulated in a realistic looking world. Looking at you Marvel movies for giving us this idea of how an athletic masculine figure looks like. Like, that's not what every guy looks like. That's not what's real. Granted, you can get that body shape, but it's not sustainable and you have to keep it up. That kind of body depends on the lifestyle you want to have, and having defined muscles and a big beefy body is not what most martial artists wish to have. Even Heihachi looks realistic as a very healthy older man who keeps in shape. Looking at the older Tekken 2 renders, is it just me or do they look more Asian? The Japanese characters have these unique eye shapes, giving the impression of monolids, a trait commonly found in Asian people. Ling Xiaoyu in Tekken 3 and Tekken 4 looks like a beautiful native mainland Chinese girl, while her Tekken Tag Tournament model was strikingly different and looks like an idol. Kazuya has lost most of his Asian features over the years and seems, in my opinion, more of a mix between Asian and Caucasian. I guess that's Asian beauty standards today, as mostly what is passed as beautiful are long, strong noses and big sheepdog eyes. Kazuya looks far more realistic in his Tekken 4 render than any of his recent looks, in my opinion. He has an aura about him, looking slightly like an older, rough version of his son Jin. If you take the textures and apply today's graphical fidelity to his Tekken 4 model, you'll have a very good version of him. I mostly made this video to show the importance of the artists who did the 3D renders of the older games. It's a fascinating work and I miss that aesthetic. When the characters look like their nationalities, then they looked real, but now they look kind of, like I mentioned, a mixture of certain things. But yeah, tell me what you think. Did the old graphics look more realistic in some ways, or the models? Or have they lost that detail over the years and just exaggerated certain things? So tell me what you think in the video. And like, share and subscribe. And if you're into Tekken and want to see me play Tekken, I do play Tekken, so watch that as well. Thank you for watching and take care.